Welcome back, Gaming with King family, to another F1 Clash video, and we're here for our opening round of the Austrian Grand Prix. Alright, so first race up is going to be on Austria. We don't have Colapinto Epic because he's a Series 10 driver, and we're not yet in Series 10. However, we are getting 5 points here for the sponsorship task. So we've ensured we've equipped the Aeroblade there. I think my Aeroblade is ready for the next level. Speed is going to be for the first race. Let me see if we have on our speed setup real quick so we could jump into this race. Yeah, I think this is our speed setup, and I think we have an upgrade for our Aeroblade. So let's see how much that's going to cost. 105 million. Do I want to upgrade it now? Alright, I'll just leave that until probably tomorrow for the final round. Then we'll upgrade that. So let's jump in here. Our event, we're using Bortoleto and Leclerc. We don't have the required driver, as he's a Series 10 driver and he can't be used in the Contenders event anyways. So you have to use him in the Champions division if you're going to be using him. Alright, so let's go for first race here and see what we can do in this one. Here we go for first race on Austria, not Austin. Alright, let's see. We should qualify in the back as usual. Yeah, 23, 24. We just want to make sure we have the race start boost to give us that great start. So speed and defending is going to be the thing here. I think there is. We want something with race start. We're going to go with Gladiator here. We're not going to focus too much on the speed. Our car already have a good amount of speed. We're going to start off with the medium tires for Leclerc as well. What we want to get started is the race start. We want our drivers to pull out and pick up some positions nice and early and make their way. Alright, so average start is what we got with the race start boost. If we didn't have the race start boost, we probably got get a slow start. As you can see, you see Bortoleto trying to make up some places here. Leclerc kind of stuck in the back here. But look, Bortoleto moving up to P15. Leclerc now up to P23. We're going to cut down Leclerc as he moves into P22 and boost him back up. Bortoleto up to P12, which is a pretty okay start. Leclerc stuck in P22. Alright, so we're going to be doing 3 laps on our tires. We crossed the line with 73% there on Bortoleto, so that means we burn the tires there a bit for Bortoleto. But no problem. We're going to hit this DRS down here. Picking up a few more positions. Alright, looking good. Or Leclerc is in P18, looking good. We want to see where our tires is at for Leclerc. We need to cross. Oh, it's a safety car. As the number 1 car passed, yep. So we're going to take the next pit stop. We're not going to take this one, as it's going to be 2 laps of safety car because the number 1 car passed the pit lane. Alright, so we're going to dive in here for some fresh tires. We're going to go for the softs and do 3 laps for Bortoleto. Then we'll come back. We could just go for medium tires here. Can the mediums take us for 6? I doubt it. So we're going to go for softs, and then we'll just make 1 more pit stop after that. Let's go for the softs so we can get an extreme good restart, as we're going to power out on this restart and just boost all the way out. Alright, we could go around with Leclerc, but why risk it when we could get a free pit stop here that nobody's going to be getting. Alright, so everybody went around for that extra lap, so we could go around for at least 4 laps right now without stopping. So we could come back to pit on lap 8 at this rate. Alright, safety car, hold up, let the track piled up a bit. Alright, so we're piled up. We're gonna just boost now from the safety car. See if we could pick off some positions. While we're going to be trying to pick up some positions here with the boost, we're going to save some of it. Not going to be just using it all, dumping it all out. We're going to save a bit of it. Alright, so DRS is back up. We're going to hold our DRS until we hit back this front straight. Now we can hit this DRS here, boost up, and hit this DRS here. So we'll pick up those guys who are in pit. Right, we're going to cut back down on that boost up to P5, P14. Alright, so lost P14 there as Leclerc boost runs out. Alright, we're going to go again, DRS, and then we're going to go to pit here on lap 7 for some fresh softs. Fresh softs. Alright, we'll boost here, hit this DRS, boost here, hit this DRS. Leclerc tires is looking like he's not going to be able to make it. He's at 10%. He should be able to make it around. As Bortoleto goes into pit in P1, Leclerc in P3, 3%. Boost him from there. Almost there, almost. Hold the line, Leclerc, hold the line. Alright, so Leclerc is in. Bortoleto back out in P5. Leclerc looks like he's coming back out in the N. Right, we managed to squeeze back out in P19 with Leclerc. A few more cars in front of Leclerc will be going into pit, so we should be able to pick up those positions as long as we can catch up. So we'll boost here, hit this DRS here with Bortoleto squeezing into P4. Can he get P3? Yes, he can. Come on, Leclerc. Boost Leclerc here. Hit this DRS. Right, we're up to P18. He's struggling to catch up, Charles Leclerc. Trying his best, though, to catch up to the rest of the pack. Alright, so final chance to get some place. We're looking pretty good so far. I think we did pretty okay so far. We're going to hit this DRS here. And this boosts Leclerc there. We didn't get the DRS early with Leclerc. Alright, let's charge him up a bit here. And then we'll just use this DRS down here. See if we can squeeze past a few of these guys. Alright, we got a few of them. We're up to P14. We got P2 with Bortoleto. Final attack on Charles Leclerc on the rival of Bortoleto. No luck there. Alright, so P14, P2 for this one. We'll definitely take that. A nice 34 points plus 5, which is pretty nice. Alright. Alright, so there we go. 34 plus 5. So overall, that's going to be 39 points for that race. Nice race there. Let's take a quick look now at the debriefing window. That was the strategy that we used under safety car conditions. Most of them did a one stop. That was the match of the drivers and the match of the car. So he was using a corner instead of here for a speed track. Alright, so that's basically that one. Let's jump into our next race and see what we can do in that one. Here we go for our next race on Jeddah. I think this one is speed and tires. So we stick to our speed setup. And we're just in front of the rival, P19, P22 here. Right. So it's 8 laps. We're gonna go for race start and tire management here. I think there is the fireworks boost that gives speed, race start, and overtaking. We're gonna go with that. Alright, we're gonna go move for Leclerc. Let me take that off Leclerc. We want something with tire management for Leclerc, so we're gonna go with that. Alright, let's go. He's gonna need that little extra tire management, though. We got the race start. We got the same race start in there, fast and average start, which is pretty nice. As we can see, our drivers moving up the outside, picking up some places, which is what we exactly want them to do. All right, Charles Leclerc now on his way up to P12, and here comes Bortoleto trying to get up there as well. Leclerc holding down P12. We're going to cut him there. Bortoleto up to P16, cut him there. And then we'll just cruise around a little bit as we lost the place to Leclerc. Cruise around a little bit. Watch these tires. 2 to 3, 3 to 3. Right? So it's going to be a 2-stop. Yeah, we'll cruise them down for now. Just let them do their thing as we now have DRS active. We're going to save that for the main straight. Alright, we're going to do our flyby. Yeah, it's actually a flyby here at Jeddah because the DRS is so fast here at Jeddah. You could use it on the back stretch or on the main stretch, wherever you choose. We saved up some power units so we could get the maximum effect of that DRS. Bortoleto dropping down 2 places. Let's give some support to Leclerc here as he's being attacked by Yuki Tsunoda. Alright, we're going to clear and hit that DRS. Hit this DRS. Alright, so we'll pick up to P12. Look at that speed coming off that DRS. Alright, let's cut there. Back down. Alright, we're going to bring in Leclerc for some fresh soft tires, as he can now get 3 laps on the softs. Bortoleto can get 3 laps on the softs as well, so we're going to switch to the softs. We want to slow down our Bortoleto a bit, and then we're going to give Leclerc this DRS. So he flies down here and create a little bit of a gap to Bortoleto, mainly is what we want him to do. As we slow Bortoleto down, so we have a nice little space of about 2 seconds in between. So there we go, we only stock for about 50 seconds there, and we're back out on track. Alright. Alright, so we're looking good. We're going to hit this DRS back up the main straight. As we cruise along, Leclerc P15, Bortoleto P18. Rival on the hard tires, looking like he's only going to be doing a 1-stop there. And we cruise along. Alright, so we're going to hit this DRS. Hit this DRS for the flyby up to P13. Here comes Bortoleto up to P15. Alright, both drivers are still nice and close here. Leclerc not seem to getting an edge, not able to kind of pull away, create a little bit of a distance for himself. He's just kind of slow. Bortoleto seems to be faster than Leclerc. Oh yes, Bortoleto has the speed boost. So let's get him in front. Let's get Bortoleto in front of Leclerc here, since he has that speed boost. Final lap, boost him up. Man, slams into the back of Charles Leclerc. I hate that so much. But definitely needs to fix that issue there, where a driver on DRS slams into the back of a ongoing car. They should be in that clean air, making their way, especially with extra overtaking and all of that good stuff. There's no way they should be slamming into the back of any car at all. Alright, so 3% DRS ready, 1%, 2%, 0. As we boost them in, we'll boost in Charles Leclerc for his final stop. He should get in just perfect for the stop here. No stocking. There we go. Just perfect. Alright, so we're back out in P15 and P19 for Charles. And we have the DRS available, so we're going to save that DRS to use it on the back straight there. Alright, so a nice gap in front for Bortoleto. A few of these guys should. Alright, so nobody's going to pit, so we're not going to be catching any of those guys. So it looks like this is where we're going to try to finish here. Let's hit this DRS nice and early. See if we could recharge for the back straight for when we get around to it. A hard tire strategy seems to would have worked better here if we've gone for 4-4 on the hard tires. So maybe we'll do that for tomorrow. We'll just go for 4-4 on the hards. Alright, so P14, P18 is where we're finishing here. Getting lapped right at the finish line by P1. Right at the finish line, we're getting lapped. Alright. So Bortoleto was a bit faster there, so he used all of that speed. Should have been in front of Charles Leclerc, but it is what it is. We'll take it. Alright, so a little bit of 18 points plus 5, so that's going to be 23. Alright, so a little bit of a 23 points here for our race. We'll take it. But the 4-4, give that a try, guys. Hard tires for 4 and 4. Alright, let's jump into... Wait, let's take a look at the debriefing, then we'll jump into our next race. Right, we see George Russell doing the 4-4 there. Carlos Sainz doing the 4-4 there. A few of them doing the 4-4. Alright, one stop. Just two of them there. Alright, that was drivers, and we had the better car. Alright, let's jump into our next race. Here we go for a race on Silverstone. If you remember in our qualifying round video, we got disconnected in Silverstone. But here we are, back at Silverstone. Alright, let's go. Alright, so we're gonna, speed and tire management is the order of the day. We're gonna go for race start and mainly some of the tire management there. So I'm gonna be going for the Nazar boost here. I mainly want the race start. I'm not really looking for the speed. I'm just looking for the race start and the tire management here. Not necessarily looking for the speed. Alright, let's go. Alright, fast start is what we got. Let's see if we can squeeze on the outside. Oh man, our driver should have been out there. Alright, now we're out there. Now we're out there. So we're making up a few places. Alright. So now we're out there making up on the outside. Look at that outside line for Bortoleto. Moving up to P12. Charles Leclerc trying to follow. Couldn't manage to hold it off. Pull it off. But he's now up to P17 as he makes his way. Bortoleto on his way. Trying to squeeze P8 off Kimi Antonelli. Gets it as he cuts down P18 for Leclerc. Alright, so we're going to let our drivers do their thing now. We could get 4 from Bortoleto. So we might need to take full advantage of that. We're going to use this DRS here. Let's boost up and use this DRS right around here. Fly around the outside. You see the rival using their DRS at that spot as well. Alright, so we're at P10, P19. Lost 1 place on Leclerc. Let's see if we can hold. Alright, Bortoleto. Let's see if he crosses the line at 50%. Or the pit entrance. There we go. Crossing the pit entrance at 52%. So Bortoleto is good for 4. Leclerc, on the other hand, is not good for 4. Not good for 4 is Charles Leclerc. Alright, so as long as we don't boost Bortoleto power unit with his DRS, he should be fine for 4. Bortoleto, on the other hand, he can only do 3, so we're gonna boost him here and hit this DRS. Put in his go to pit orders. He could get 3 laps now on these softs. So we're gonna switch to the soft tires for him, and we'll allow Bortoleto to go around, come back to the mediums to go to finish. Alright, let's boost in more Leclerc. Alright. We're looking good, looking good. All right, looking pretty good. So we'll charge up a bit with Leclerc, Bortoleto. Now we could just boost him in with this DRS and use up his power unit now. And we'll do the same for Leclerc on the back here. Alright, let's see where Bortoleto jumps back out in front. Yes, he's back out in P10. And we'll just cut him down there as he cruises up into P9. Alright, looking good, looking good. Alright, Leclerc is basically struggling here. Bortoleto doing a pretty good job, and it's a safety car coming on out. P1 is behind the safety car, so he's not going to be stopping again. Let's charge and let's go to pit with Bortoleto for the soft tires. Let's go to pit with Bortoleto for the soft tires, with Leclerc for the soft tires I should say. Bortoleto is not making any more stops. He's going to be going to finish on his medium tires. So it's just a matter of him now charging his power unit so he has enough to boost. As we go to some fresh tires for Charles Leclerc. See the rival Bortoleto continuing there, and a few more of the AIs continuing on the softs. Yeah, we'll make the stop. Jump back out in front of the rival Hamilton, we should. Alright, there we go. Looking good. We're gonna charge now our power unit. Alright, so there we go. Looking pretty good here. You got one slow lap on their safety car conditions. That's going to make Bortoleto even more aggressive to boost on home. As we charge now Leclerc's power unit so he can boost on home as well. He's going to have 2 laps to do on the softs. So he's in the green on tires. And we've caught up to the pack. Leclerc has not filled his tire potential. Let's see if we can get some positions here with this restart. Alright, Bortoleto aggressive attacking here. Hit this DRS. We should pick up a few places. Hit this DRS here. Alright, we're up to P5 with our Bortoleto and P17 with Leclerc. Alright, cut down there. And so a few of them will be going into pit in front of Leclerc, so he should pick up those positions. I doubt anybody is in front of Bortoleto is going to be going back to pit. There they go into pit now. We're going to boost Leclerc so we can pick up those places. Let's boost Bortoleto. We want to attack P4 here. Squeeze. There we go. Looking good. Hit the DRS with Bortoleto to attack P13. Not a lot of places here to use up your DRS at Silverstone. Can we squeeze P3 with Bortoleto? No, we cannot, but we squeeze P14 with Leclerc. We want to boost him to hold P14, and we managed to hold off P14. Alright, so nice P4, P14 for us here at Silverstone, which is going to be 32 points. We'll take that plus 5, so that's about 37 points for us there. Alright, we'll definitely take that. Let's take a quick look now at the debriefing, and then we'll jump into our final race of the video. As you know, we do our first 4 races today, and tomorrow we'll do our last 4 races. Alright, so the rival had the better drivers and the better car there. No, we kind of had the better drivers. Same equal level 4 Bortoleto. We have a better speed car than the rival there. Alright, let's jump into the next one and see what we can do in our final race. Here we go for our final race of the video. We're on Spain, and this setup is going to be cornering. So we've tuned to our cornering setup. Alright, so the Nazir boost is going to be the boost of choice here because it gives you that cornering and race start that we want. Uh, but we're going to go for something else because we already have a load of cornering. So we're going to be looking into going for the Frost boost here. The Frost. This gives us a lot of tire management with some race start. We already have a lot of cornering, so we're not going to be putting too much more cornering on our car. We're going to aim for the tire management aspect and see if we can outrun these guys. We got a perfect start from Charles Leclerc, and Bortoleto slams into the back as he tries to make his way with his average start, while Charles Leclerc gets pulled back with his perfect start. Now he's on his way. Leclerc is not allowing Bortoleto to go with his average start out in front. Now both drivers are fighting each other, causing them to slow down a bit there. But we've made up a good amount of places. Up to P7 with Bortoleto, up to P10 with Leclerc here. Let's look at the tire management. We could go for 5 and 4 for this one. So we're gonna go the maximum amount of 5 laps for Bortoleto to do the one-stop strategy, and then we're gonna go for 4 with Leclerc, maximizing our tire management here. All right, Leclerc looking pretty good. Dropping back two places, give him a little bit of a support. We're gonna hit this DRS right now. We should have been hitting DRSing down the straight with Bortoleto, but we missed that because we were focusing on Leclerc. So we hit Bortoleto's DRS a little bit late, so we didn't get the maximum effect of that. All right. Now we want it to be recharged by the time we hit back the main straight, so we don't want to push it too much. One more lap, 25% per lap for Leclerc, 20% per lap for Bortoleto. There we go, crossing the line. The pit entrance with 40%. We're going to hit this DRS with Leclerc. We're above 25%. Or we'll just allow Bortoleto's DRS to go back around. Because we hit it late, so it recharged bad there. As we now go into pit with Leclerc. We don't want to run him out of tires, so we're watching his tires. Now we have 24% remaining for Bortoleto. We're gonna hit his DRS now as we move him up to P2 and then put in his go to pit orders. Don't want to burn his tires, so we're gonna cut down there. Leclerc seems to be in pit forever there. That pit stop seems pretty long for Charles. We're gonna have to save his. Alright, so we're at 3%, 2%, 1%, right at the pit entrance, and we're just going to boost him on in for his stop. He should get back out at least in P6 as we come around with Leclerc. Alright, Leclerc now should be able to use his DRS to pick off a few of these positions, maybe 1 or 2. Let's see. Flies, there we go, making up to 2 places and picking up the 3rd one at the end there to move him up to P9. Now he's going to lose back P9. Right, Bortoleto in P4, pretty nice. We're going to hit this DRS. Leclerc losing 2 places. We're going to kind of slow down him here and then boost him up and hit this DRS, and he should regain at least those 2 places that he lost. Ooh, slammed into the back, Charles Leclerc. Alright, so we're gonna go around, straight around. We're doing the maximum of 4 laps with him and going to pit on lap 8 instead of going to pit. Hit this DRS with Bortoleto, crossing the line with 60%, so we're looking good on his side. Alright, final lap before pit with Charles Leclerc, use that DRS to see if we can squeeze P10. Yes, we can. Now, do we have the momentum to hold P10? No, we do not. AI Leclerc is right there to take it back from us. Alright, looking good so far. We'll continue. Alright, Bortoleto getting P3. Missed that DRS opportunity there for Bortoleto. Ooh, come on, squeeze, hold P11 into pit, Leclerc. Hold it into pit. Alright, Leclerc held P11 into pit. Can he get back to jump on the rival? Yes, he can. Alright, so he's back out in P11. Pretty nice. Charles, P2 going into pit. We're going to hit this DRS with our Bortoleto. Flying down there, lapping the rival up to P20. P19 now in lapping. Alright. Our final push for our Leclerc. Let's give him some support here as the rival DRSs, and we retake that place. Now we'll hit our DRS up the straight to pull away, and then we'll cross the line with our Bortoleto in P2. Awesome race for Bortoleto there, and a pretty good race for Charles Leclerc as well. Let's try and hold P11 to finish. Let's give him some support down here as Albon is coming aggressively. So we defended Albon and we pulled him off to the finish line. Ah, man, he passed. Oh, we retake it. We retook it right on the line. We got that place from Albon. Albon got us right on the last corner, and we used that DRS to get him back before he crossed the line. Alright, so great race there overall, 37 points. We'll definitely take that with 5 points. That's going to be 42 points there, which is nice. Alright. So there we go. Bortoleto did the one stop. Lando Norris did the one stop. Pierre Gasly did the one stop. Everybody else did a 4-4-2. Alright. Now that we know that the AIs are going to be doing a 4-4-2, you could do a 2-4-4 to try and offset the pits. All right, there we go. That was the car. That was the match. All right, let's jump. Oh yeah, that's going to be our final race. So let me know down in the comments how you guys are doing in your events, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our last 4 races in the final round. Hopefully we make the final this time around. I think we should be able to make the final this time around. Alright, so that's basically going to be it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.